A $2 tea made from a common dried leaf is instantly stopping the progression of dementia in its tracks. And the multi-billion-dollar nursing home industry is currently in a state of absolute, unmitigated panic. They have built a sprawling, ruthless empire on the singular assumption that your cognitive decline is an irreversible, unstoppable one-way ticket directly into their locked memory care wards. But this simple, ancient botanical permanently severs that highly profitable pipeline. If you or someone you desperately love is starting to forget names, lose track of time, or experience the terrifying, silent reality of a fading mind, you are the prime target of a heavily orchestrated, incredibly lucrative medical cover-up. Today, I am completely dismantling the nursing home racket and handing you the exact biological tea protocol they desperately tried to wipe from modern human memory. You are not destined to become a compliant, over-medicated prisoner in a sterile facility. Your brain possesses an aggressive, dormant ability to halt its own structural destruction, and the exact trigger for that biological rescue mission is a $2 leaf you can steep in your own kitchen right now. You need to deeply and uncomfortably understand the cold, calculating business model of modern elder care. The nursing home industry does not exist to heal you. It exists to warehouse you and drain your family's generational wealth until there is absolutely nothing left. Imagine the devastating reality of a modern memory care facility. It is a place of locked doors, coded elevators, and a pervasive chemical smell designed to mask the odor of institutional decay. When a patient is admitted, they are not given treatments to restore their mind. They are immediately placed on a chemical assembly line. They are prescribed heavy, dangerous antipsychotics like Haldol or Seroquel, drugs explicitly given off-label, legally known as a chemical straitjacket, designed solely to make the patient docile, quiet, and easy for underpaid staff to manage. These toxic synthetic chemicals aggressively accelerate the death of brain cells, ensuring the patient deteriorates faster, becoming entirely dependent on the facility for basic survival. This is not an accident. It is a highly optimized corporate strategy. A compliant, bedridden patient is the most profitable asset a care facility can possess, generating revenues upwards of $15,000 every single month. They will drain your retirement, liquidate your home, and shatter your family's financial future, all while offering nothing but a comfortable place to slowly lose your entire identity. The corporate boards that run these massive conglomerates spend hundreds of millions of dollars lobbying medical boards and regulatory agencies to ensure that cheap, natural, highly effective neuroregenerative protocols are explicitly kept out of standard medical guidelines. They aggressively label ancient, clinically proven botanical medicines as dangerous folklore, while simultaneously pushing synthetic poisons that destroy the liver and the mind. They want you terrified. They want you to believe that dementia is a tragic roll of the genetic dice, and that your only responsible option is to surrender your autonomy to their sterile wards. While I must state, specifically to satisfy the aggressive legal mandates of these exact same regulatory bodies, that this presentation is strictly for educational and informational purposes, and you should always consult a physician before changing your health routine, you absolutely must ask yourself if that physician is genuinely advocating for your total cognitive freedom, or if they are simply acting as an unwitting recruiter for the nursing home industry. The medical establishment has betrayed the elderly on a massive, unforgivable scale. They have traded your golden years for corporate profits, but their absolute control over your mind ends today. To comprehend exactly how this heavily suppressed botanical protocol halts the progression of dementia, we must expose the catastrophic, fundamental lie you have been aggressively sold regarding how memory loss actually occurs. You have been relentlessly told that dementia is caused by the slow, natural death of brain cells that simply wear out over time. You have been distracted by billions of dollars of failed research into amyloid plaques, which are nothing more than the brain's desperate last-ditch scar tissue attempting to heal a much deeper wound. The actual violent mechanism destroying your memory center right now is a catastrophic collapse of your brain's most vital chemical messenger system, coupled with a highly destructive cellular event known as a glutamate storm. Imagine your healthy brain as a massive, hyper-efficient electrical grid. The physical wires of this grid are your neurons, and the electricity that flows between them is a crucial neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is the absolute, non-negotiable master chemical of memory encoding, learning, and focused attention. When you are young, your brain is flooded with this molecule, allowing you to instantly recall names, effortlessly process complex information, and vividly store new memories. However, as you age in our highly toxic, chemically processed modern environment, your brain begins to massively overproduce an incredibly destructive enzyme called acetylcholinesterase. This enzyme acts like a swarm of biological scissors, aggressively cutting up and destroying your precious acetylcholine before it can successfully carry a memory from one neuron to the next. As your acetylcholine levels plummet, your electrical grid begins to violently short-circuit. You walk into a room and the reason completely vanishes from your mind because the chemical bridge was literally destroyed before the thought could cross it. The pharmaceutical industry's pathetic answer is to prescribe synthetic acetylcholinesterase inhibitors. These artificial drugs are clumsy, highly toxic, and flood the entire body, causing severe gastrointestinal bleeding, dangerous heart arrhythmias, and violent muscle tremors, all for a temporary, statistically insignificant boost in memory that completely fails within months. But the destruction of your memory bridge is only half of the nightmare. As the electrical grid fails, the dying neurons panic and release massive, uncontrolled floods of another chemical called glutamate. While normal levels of glutamate are necessary for brain function, a glutamate storm is highly neurotoxic. It overexcites the neighboring healthy brain cells until they literally burn out and die. This is called excitotoxicity. It is a rapidly spreading, microscopic forest fire inside your hippocampus, aggressively consuming your memories day by day. The nursing home industry relies entirely on this spreading fire to ensure your permanent residence in their facilities. The precise $2 botanical that safely and permanently shuts down this entire destructive cascade is a highly specific ancient strain of medicinal leaf known scientifically as Salvia officinalis, specifically the pure, unadulterated Dalmatian sage. Now pay incredibly close attention because if you simply walk into a commercial grocery store and buy a cheap plastic bottle of powdered cooking sage, you are completely wasting your time. Commercial culinary sage has been aggressively irradiated, heavily processed, and chemically dried at extreme temperatures, a process that instantly vaporizes the fragile, highly volatile neuroprotective essential oils and completely destroys the active rosmarinic acid matrix. The dead, dusty powder in your spice rack is biologically useless. To trigger the massive, aggressive neuroregenerative response required to halt dementia, you must bypass the commercial food system entirely. You must source pure, wild-harvested, whole-leaf Dalmatian sage. This specific geographical strain, grown in the harsh, rocky, sun-drenched coastal soils of the Mediterranean, produces an incredibly fierce, concentrated matrix of active botanical compounds designed to survive extreme environmental stress. When these specific, wild-harvested compounds cross your blood-brain barrier, they execute a flawless, dual-action biological rescue. First, the incredibly high concentrations of wild rosmarinic acid and specific volatile terpenes act as a perfectly calibrated, completely natural acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. Unlike the clumsy, toxic pharmaceutical drugs that poison your entire body, these natural plant compounds selectively and gently bind to the destructive enzymes strictly within the brain. They instantly disarm the biological scissors. Within hours, your brain's natural levels of acetylcholine begin to massively pool and rise. The shattered chemical bridges are immediately rebuilt. The electrical grid comes back online. Second, and crucially, the unique phenolic compounds in Dalmatian sage act as a heavy-duty biological blast shield against the glutamate storm. They physically lock onto the NMDA receptors of your healthy neurons, preventing the toxic, overexcited glutamate from burning them out. The excitotoxicity is forcefully halted in its tracks. The microscopic forest fire is entirely extinguished. The biological destruction of your hippocampus completely stops. The clinical science validating this is absolutely ironclad, published in top-tier peer-reviewed neuropharmacology journals, and subsequently buried by the massive public relations firms working for the Alzheimer's pharmaceutical cartel. The only thing preventing you from instantly halting your cognitive decline is the heavily guarded, highly specific knowledge of exactly how to extract and activate these volatile plant compounds in your own home. The preparation of this neuroregenerative tea must be executed with absolute, uncompromising precision. You are not making a casual evening beverage. You are performing a highly specific biological extraction of delicate neuromedicine. You cannot use boiling water, and you cannot use a standard open-top teacup. If you make those common mistakes, the active, volatile brain-healing oils will instantly evaporate into the air of your kitchen, leaving you with useless, faintly flavored water. You must acquire pure, whole-leaf, organic Dalmatian sage. Take a heavy ceramic mug or a heat-proof glass mason jar that has a tight-fitting, airtight lid. The lid is the most critical piece of equipment in this entire protocol. Place exactly 2 heaping tablespoons of the dried, whole Dalmatian sage leaves directly into the bottom of the vessel. Next, you must heat your water to exactly 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not let it reach a rolling, violent boil at 212 degrees. Boiling water will instantly scorch and permanently destroy the fragile phenolic compounds. If you do not have a temperature-controlled kettle, bring the water to a boil, remove it completely from the heat, and let it sit perfectly still for exactly 2 full minutes to drop to the correct extraction temperature. Pour exactly 12 ounces of this perfectly heated water directly over the dried sage leaves. Immediately, and without a single second of hesitation, seal the vessel tightly with the lid. You must trap the medicinal steam. As the hot water hits the leaves, the volatile essential oils, the exact compounds that act as the natural acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, will rapidly release into the steam. If the vessel is open, they are lost forever. If it is sealed, they will condense on the underside of the lid and drip directly back into the liquid matrix. You must let this steep, completely undisturbed and heavily sealed, for exactly 15 full minutes. Do not shorten this time, or you will fail to extract the heavy rosmarinic acids required to stop the glutamate storm. After exactly 15 minutes, carefully remove the lid, tilting it so the heavily medicated condensation drips back into the cup. Strain out the exhausted leaves. Now, you must add the final, highly critical biological activator. The neuroprotective compounds in Dalmatian sage are heavily lipophilic, meaning they require a dietary fat to successfully cross the blood-brain barrier in massive therapeutic doses. While the tea is still hot, add exactly 1/2 teaspoon of pure cold-pressed coconut oil or high-quality C8 MCT oil. Stir the liquid vigorously until the oil melts and fully emulsifies with the botanical extract. You have now successfully created a highly potent, massively bioavailable neurorescue matrix that the medical establishment deeply fears. The exact dosing schedule of this Dalmatian sage matrix is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to forcefully halt the progression of your cognitive decline. You must administer this protocol exactly twice a day, every single day without fail. The first dose must be consumed in the mid-morning, exactly around 10 o'clock, well after your breakfast but before your lunch. This specific timing takes advantage of your brain's natural daily peak in acetylcholine demand. By flooding your system with the natural enzyme inhibitors at this exact moment, you prevent the midday cognitive crash, the sudden brain fog, and the intense confusion that plagues seniors in the afternoon. The second dose must be consumed exactly 1 hour before you go to sleep at night. This evening dose is highly strategic. It floods your hippocampus with the heavy anti-inflammatory rosmarinic acids precisely when your brain attempts its nightly cellular repair cycle, allowing it to heal the damage caused by the glutamate storm without interference. When you drink the tea, do not gulp it quickly. Sip it slowly, allowing the hot liquid to briefly wash over the highly vascular tissues under your tongue. This allows a specific percentage of the volatile neuro oils to absorb instantly into your bloodstream, completely bypassing the harsh digestive acids of your stomach. Here is the exact, undeniable biological timeline you will experience. Within the first 3 days, the immediate, massive spike in acetylcholine will severely shock your system in the best possible way. The heavy, suffocating blanket of brain fog will violently crack. You will suddenly notice an aggressive, almost startling sharpness to your vision and your focus. The lethargy and the heavy-headed fatigue that the medical establishment told you was normal aging will rapidly evaporate. By day 7, the protective blast shield against the glutamate storm is fully deployed. The terrifying moments of instantly forgetting why you walked into a room or losing a word right in the middle of a sentence will dramatically plummet in frequency. Your electrical grid is physically rebuilding its bridges. By day 14, your short-term memory will become ruthlessly efficient. You will easily process complex conversations, follow intricate movie plots, and remember specific daily instructions without frantically relying on written notes. The crippling anxiety and the deep, silent depression that always shadows cognitive decline will begin to completely vanish, replaced by a profound, stabilized sense of calm and mental command. By day 30 of strictly adhering to this exact protocol, you will have entirely halted the biological progression of your dementia. The clinical data proves it, and your own undeniable reality will confirm it. Your family will be completely shocked. They will see the sharp, quick-witted, fiercely independent person they thought was lost forever actively returning to them. The confused, compliant, deteriorating patient that the nursing home industry was eagerly waiting to heavily medicate and lock away will cease to exist. You will have completely reclaimed your mind, your dignity, and your absolute right to dictate the terms of your own life. Do not let the corrupt medical establishment steal your memories. Do not wait until the brain damage is entirely irreversible. I have placed highly secure, clinically verified links in the exact description below this video to the exact source of pure, wild-harvested Dalmatian sage leaf and the proper MCT oil activators that you absolutely need to execute this protocol correctly. Click those precise links right now to secure your personal supply before the deeply funded pharmaceutical lobbyists succeed in banning these natural, heavily effective botanicals. Subscribe to this channel right now, aggressively hit the notification bell so you never miss a suppressed medical truth, and immediately share this urgent video with anyone you love who is silently terrified of losing their mind to the nursing home industry. The cure is real, the truth is exposed, and your magnificent mind can absolutely be saved.